For 300 years, no blade could break her chains, until a human's rusted sword did it with one swing. The forest was old, too old. Branches hung low like crooked arms, moss spread thick as carpets, and stones whispered with the weight of centuries. Aric, a wanderer with little more than a rusted short sword and a torn pack, didn't belong here. Yet hunger and desperation had driven him into the shadowed heart of the wood, where no hunter dared tread. They said the forest was cursed, that the trees grew fat on blood spilled long ago, that something chained within its depths would wake if called. Aric didn't care for legends. He cared for bread, for water, for coin. So when he saw the clearing, unnatural, circular, as if carved by divine hands, he stepped inside and froze. At its center stood a figure. A woman. No, more than a woman. Tall as a queen, with hair like rivers of silver, eyes closed in slumber. Her body was bound in chains thicker than a man's torso, glowing faintly with runes. They pierced her wrists, her ankles, even her throat. She knelt, but even bowed she radiated power, like a storm forced into silence. Aric's mouth went dry. He had stumbled upon something he should not have. Then her eyes opened. They were not human eyes. They glowed with violet fire, and when they met his, the forest seemed to hold its breath. You! Her voice was a whisper that shook the clearing. You are no priest, no king, no soldier of the order. Who dares walk here? Aric stumbled back, clutching his sword, though it was little more than scrap. I'm no one, just passing through. Her gaze narrowed. For 3 centuries I have been bound. Hundreds came before you, warriors with blades forged by emperors, paladins blessed by gods. All failed to break these chains. And yet, she looked at the rusted sword in his hand. A small, almost cruel smile curved her lips. That toy, that relic of iron and decay, it sings the chains. Aric blinked at her, unsure if this was madness or sorcery. This? It's junk. It can barely cut firewood. Touch it to the links, she commanded. Aric shook his head. No. Whatever you are, they chained you for a reason. Her eyes softened, not with kindness, but with weary truth. They feared me, mortal, feared the power I carried. But their fear was never my crime. I led armies once. Yes, I shattered tyrants. And for that, the kings bound me. They called me monster to justify their cowardice. Her voice grew sharp again. If you believe me wicked, leave. But if you doubt their righteousness, test a blade. Aric hesitated. Every instinct screamed at him to run. Yet something in her voice, desperation woven through pride, held him. He stepped closer. The chains hummed faintly, runes glowing brighter as the sword neared. His hand shook as he pressed the rusted edge to the nearest link. With a sound like thunder cracking, the chain shattered. Aric fell backward in shock. The woman gasped, a sound caught between agony and ecstasy. Sparks rained from the broken rune. It broke, Aric whispered. But how? She looked at him with something almost like reverence, because that blade is no mere scrap. It carries the blood of the first rebellion, the iron of 1,000 dead, rusted, yes, but never forgotten. The kings missed it when they forged my prison. You wanderer, carry history in your hand. Aric stared at the sword, dumbfounded. The woman lifted her chained arm, the remaining links groaning. Strike again. Free me. Aric's breath caught. If he freed her, what then? Would she destroy him? The forest? The world? You hesitate, she said softly. Wise. But consider this, mortal. Do you truly believe the kings who bound me were just? Or do you think power always fears what cannot control? Her words gnawed at him. He had lived under lords who bled peasants dry, who called their cruelty law. He had seen justice serve only the strong. Perhaps she spoke truth. He raised the sword again. The second chain cracked like glass. She groaned, voice thick with release. 300 years, and at last they weakened. The ground shook. The forest howled. Owls shrieked and fled. Aric swung again. Each strike shattered a binding. The runes wailed, sparks and smoke bursting into the air. With every broken chain, her body straightened, strength returning. Finally, only the collar around her throat remained. It glowed brightest, runes blazing defiance. Aric hesitated one last time. "Do it," she whispered, "or leave me here to rot another century." He struck. The collar split. The glow died, and the clearing exploded with light. Aric was thrown back as power rushed outward, tearing leaves from trees, splitting stone. When the brilliance dimmed, she stood tall, unbound, her silver hair whipping in the storm she had become. Her gaze met his. For a terrible moment, he thought she would kill him. Instead, she knelt. "To you I owe freedom. To you, wanderer, I pledge debt." Aric's heart hammered. "Debt? Yes." She rose, towering. "Name it. A kingdom, vengeance, knowledge beyond men. Or companionship." Aric swallowed. He had expected death, not choice. I only wanted to survive. I have nothing else." Her lips curved in a smile both tender and terrifying. "Then you shall survive, Aric. Longer than you dream." The forest shook again. From its edges came the tramp of boots, the clang of armor. The order had sensed her awakening. She spread her arms, chains falling like dust. "Let them come. Tonight, their reign ends." Her eyes burned violet fire. She looked back at him. "And you, little wanderer, you are Noah no longer. You are the breaker chains." Aric tightened his grip on the rusted sword. Against all reason, all fear, he felt something bloom inside him. Hope.